Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by Paul Hall, 10th Man, Chocolate Sayin, Righteous Force, Adam Meakin, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. Welcome, one and all.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good
Afternoon.
Morning, people.
Good morning. Any evidence of a physical Earth curve edge capable of having a straight line tangent drawn to it?
No, it's arbitrary.
Well, you could do it, but first you would have to basically draw a geometrical conceptual model and try to, in your mind, then parallel that to the actual sightings on the Earth. And then it might work.
Well, that's handy. They've got that. They've definitely got that. They've got a They've got a horizon in their geometric model that they can call geometric. I mean, it's not the horizon we experience, of course, but we can brush past that, right? Jedi mind trick. This is not the horizon you are looking for. This horizon on screen now is not a single point marked in Muppet Vision that we never see because we don't have atmosphere anyway in the model. So we don't have a geometric horizon ever. Okay, great. Happy days. Welcome to Flat Earth Fundies. Any evidence of any Earth curve ever?
Not from Port Wainimi.
Oh,
Not from
Earth
the
curve. Earth curve. I think the geometrical orientation of the realm's surface that we know is pretty much as good as flat. So,
Agreed. It's only an aspect, definitely not a shape. Any signs of axial rotation?
Not Earth-based.
nope.
Any scientific evidence
Life
of
in the heaven rotates, so it seems, but not us, not the realm itself.
any scientific evidence of gravity? Go on, someone's got to have some balls.
Discord?
Only in the shed.
Only in the globalization model.
Where is Tony, by the way? Anybody heard of him since yesterday?
Heard of him? Who's Tony?
No.
Torsion bars. Torsion bars.
Anthony?
Torsion bars. This is a naturally observed phenomena.
No, that's a new ice cream. Torsion bars.
Ah, of course, by Nestle.
Yeah, that's right.
I think if we're sticking with the Star Wars analogies, Tony's on a godforsaken crusade.
I was listening back to the discussion we had about Cavendish, and Owen was absolutely on fire, like with only a mildly condescending tone, but enough to, if it was me on the receiving end of it, to piss me off even more. Like, yeah, it's not actually the bar that's the phenomena. It's the twist in the bar. When do we see that? We don't see things balanced out like that in nature. That's not natural. And you're like so casual about it. It's like, get you, Owen. Check you out with you. Definitely pinning down what should be their isolated independent variable, right? Torsion bar twist. Spot on.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely learned my lesson concerning the inflexible nature of the scientific method and how to use it. So yeah, I'm starting to see it more and more, how diluted what the ballers do really is and how not scientific it is. Yeah.
And
Then
he's
you just ask them the right question, and it's like they shit all over it, right? Because when I asked them, where do we see torsion bars in nature? He's like, that's absurd. Yeah, that's the whole point. That it's absurd. Dumbass. Like, sorry, man, but come on.
yeah, that was great. Well, it would be absurd to ask me to show this completely non-natural man-made phenomena in nature. How on earth would I do such a thing?
Are you saying there
Why
are
like argue that it's natural?
so no torsion bars are involved when an apple falls to the ground?
It's not really a torsion bar. The stem of an apple, could it be argued that it's twisting in the wind and that's causing it to break? It's not really a torsion bar showing minuscule differences between an attractive force that's assumed at a 50,000 or 50 millionth to one scale. That's not really the same thing. I don't know. Maybe you can swindle that apple stalk twisting into being a torsion bar. You tell me.
Well, you can't
Any
have the
signs of
stalk.
apple
You've
stalk twist?
The twist in the torsion bar has to be representative of something that's occurring during the apple's journey after the stalk snapped. The torsion bar has to be representative of that journey or the application of forces.
I see. So in other words, the stalk could only be analogous to like a prop that was holding the balls before you started the experiment, if you want to call it that. It's not. But by comparison, the force in the example of an apple falling is, as described by the last dude who was on here, Jim, the attractive force between the two things. Therefore, not all to do with the starting process of that mechanic. It's merely the prop being removed from the balls by analogy. Still bullshit though. It's in no way an experiment. I mean, what I quite liked is, although I only had a cursory look at it and left a couple of comments, I noticed Slice Barkane probably puts Black Swan in his tags, bastard. But he's taking umbrage with the fact we've called him a fraud based on the fact that he hadn't got a slightest clue what a hypothesis is. So he came along after declaring to the world. Oh, he also took umbrage that it was out of date. It's like you're repeating the experiment that you claimed it was. He's decided to be a bit more moderate with his language and call it a test, and then go through the scientific methods and talk about hypotheses, which is great. Oh, funny times. Anyway, so he's taken umbrage with the fact that he is a fraud. He doesn't know what science was, claimed he'd got an experiment when he didn't have a valid hypothesis, or any hypothesis, leading me on nicely to my next question. Any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics. Wow, groundbreaking stuff in this field, eh? You'd think these scientific fields would have come up with a hypothesis by now. Amazing. Nobody shocked in the audience if you think all of these claim to be sciences have actually got any science. Yeah, they're lying to you. They don't have any science. We'd have had a whole stack of hypotheses being validated in front of us by now. It's been about 6 months since I've asked this question. Any single viable hypothesis, scientific prediction, from any of the fields of astronomy, the people who tell you what space is. Yeah? Why haven't they got any? They're supposed to be science, aren't they?
Well, they do produce a lot of stories, though.
Unfortunately, I can't even get past step 1 of the scientific method. So,
Oh yeah, they can
doing past looking at stuff.
They can definitely get to step 1A, observe phenomena. Wow, look at that light. Sure. That's definitely a
look
phenomenon.
at it. It's great. What do we do now, guys?
Right, let's get a pen and a bit of paper.
To imagine what it could really be.
No, they have a writers' meeting. Sometimes, right?
Writers' meeting.
Yeah, sometimes they give you alternative stories, alternative versions. I can't parrot one off, but I will look this up. So I often parrot off the story of Thea. We all know the story. I'm going to familiarise the audience if they're not familiar already. So Earth's in orbit, all presupposition. No, I've got a technique for this now, haven't I? Right, here we go. So now we're in fantasy bullshit land. Right. And in fantasy bullshit land, Earth's falling around the sun, right? And there's another planet that's also falling around the sun, and they're not hitting each other, but they're on an eventual collision course. And this second planet's called Theia, the first planet's called Earth. It's not like the Earth we know, it's a much smaller planet, like the size of Mars is presupposed to be. Anyway, at a given time in history, Theia smashes into the Earth at a glancing blow, depositing its molten iron core into the fledgling Earth, increasing its size, making the mathematics of why our core hasn't cooled down work. That aside, the debris from Theia, which didn't destroy Earth because it hit it at a glancing blow, all of the debris flew off and orbited around this new massive cored planet. And that debris coalesced by the forces that are the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time into what we now see as the moon. And that is the story of how the moon was born. True, because they made it up themselves. Now, although I can't offer it you here, I know there are alternative stories. Now, they probably get called theories. Alternative theories for how the moon was created. But nevertheless, that's the current bullshit, because they made it up themselves. But that's a writer's meeting. So they observe natural phenomena, wickets, tick, step one, scientific method, all well and good. Well, what do we do now? Formulate a hypothesis? No, we'd have to be thinking what caused that twinkly light we just looked at. That's a problem. So writer's meeting, let's all decide what caused that light. And we'll just compare stories. Maybe some of the stories will be mixed together. Old stories will have to be assessed to see if they work in the law that is bullshit. And then you've got your best story.
We'll need further artist illustrations to further enhance the story.
Exactly. Just like if you're writing a kid's storybook. You send it off to artists. They produce illustrations to go with the nice swirly text that's in the book.
Uncle Nathan, can I give one more bedtime story?
Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about the world that spins. Right. Right, we're back in the room.
I just wanted to ask you a question still in Narnia.
Oh, too late. You'll have to ask a fundamentalist religious zealot, and they won't give you violin music beforehand, I'm afraid, or harp music.
Yeah, we're only allowed one trip into Narnia a day.
Yeah. Don't spend too long in there, Arwen, because it starts to become real.
But it is real.
See?
In there.
What's happening?
In Narnia, it is very real.
In there.
That's true. He's not wrong. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Come on, Arwen. It's over there.
I know it's over there. I don't see it today, it's just a gray soup, so I'm not entirely sure where it is exactly.
Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container?
Nope.
Nah.
How do you test that? You don't.
Right, it's a violation of natural law, but it's also what they claim the sky is.
Yep.
You use a pipe.
That would be a container. No, a pipe's a container. Newsflash. Newsflash. A pipe is a container. Talking of Theia.
Containers in the definition.
Go ahead, say again.
I said containers in the definition.
For what?
Can't get around it.
Definition for what? Gas pressure?
Yeah, for gas pressure.
What, the force exerted on the walls of its container?
Yep, can't get around it.
But that would mean you absolutely would need a container to have gas pressure.
It's called an antecedent. Antecedent consequent relationships. Look it up. Fascinating stuff. Talking to Theia, though, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core increased in volume by Theia at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Oh, I just had a question about that, but
Oh, hold on,
then
we've got
you
rumblings.
out of Narnia.
We've got rumblings though. Go ahead, Rebel.
In chat?
Oh, he's on server mute. Go ahead, Rebel.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent. Hey, good to be here with you guys. Good show. Thing about atmospheric pressure, or rather space balls. You guys remember the movie, the spin-off, Spaceballs, spin-off of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Of course I do.
The parody.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Go ahead, Rebel.
Well, isn't that interesting that it was sort of right in our face, the whole idea of gas balls in space when they talk about the scene about sucking the atmosphere with the vacuum. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Mega Maid. He's
Yep.
gone
Yeah.
from suck to blow.
Yeah, hold on. Go ahead, Rebel. Go ahead.
As a kid, as I was watching this, it was immediately apparent to me the contradiction when I thought, vacuum is a vacuum, right? It's like a vacuum cleaner, right? And they, in the scene, of course, it's comedy and blah, blah, blah. They vacuum the atmosphere out. And I thought, interesting, how does that really work in the real world? It just, to me, was very puzzling. And then Flat Earth topic came, and I sort of thought back of that movie. It's like somebody was trying to tell us something.
Yes, they were.
No, they were having a laugh at you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They were laughing
I
at
mean,
you.
somebody has to go over that movie
Well,
just
the
to see
joke-
what else they were saying. Blatantly.
Well, the joke
Yeah.
wouldn't have
Oh, no.
worked if Mel Brooks. I mean, Mel Brooks obviously understood that, right? The joke wouldn't have worked if you didn't have some type of a dome around or covering barrier container around the Earth
But
to
think of
have
it,
the air
he
in the
named
first
it-
place.
But
The movie is named
technically how it
Spaceballs,
worked in
right?
Spaceball. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they did. They named it Spaceballs. Exactly. I just caught that too, man.
That's right.
In
Hey,
But in
another props.
Spaceballs, they had
I
the
want
shield.
to give
Remember?
props to Anthony and Nathan, of course, for yesterday's show. Right when you guys started talking about breaching the horizon with Rampus, I knew you guys baiting him. It was so freaking obvious. I don't know if you did it on purpose or not. I thought it was genius. And right when you got him to admit it wasn't geometric, it was hilarious, man. That was really well done. It's the way to, I mean, baiting sophists is the way to sort of reveal their duplicitous nature. And you've done it brilliantly. That was a well done job.
Well, it wasn't planned, no. Quite the contrary. If you listen, I'll put a link to the full show below the little snippet I did. But no, Anthony was like, I want to have Rumpus on. I was like, no. I'm not interested. He's a liar. So I was like, very negative about having him on at all. Anthony convinced him to come on. But no, we don't. There is no rehearsing these things or planning these things in those sorts of ways. It's always organic.
Well, okay. Well, kudos to you. I mean, I felt you were baiting him, right? Like right in the beginning of the conversation. I'm going, where is he going with this? I think he's going to go and talk about apparent versus geometric. And exactly what you got him to do. Anyway, if it was organic, it's even better. Hey, Nathan, I have a question for you. It kept bothering me every time I hear that. When you rattle off this explanation, the mainstream explanation about what the objects in the distance are or the horizon, you keep referring to, you have to rattle it off because I can't do it. You keep referring to the hyena hologram or something like this.
Sure.
You have to probably repeat the rattle, but I don't know, what do you mean by that? Is that a scientific term? Is that the term readily used in
Oh, the hyena bit. I thought you wanted me to explain the full spiel. You just want the explanation for the hyena bit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, so there's a dude in chat. He's probably got a different name by now. But Tim Osman, who's been punting the exact same observation from then until now, right, had some hyenas on the flats. And at the time, the terminology that was being bantered around was slightly looming. It's all slightly looming. meaning everything's a bloody hologram, nothing's where it's supposed to be. But nevertheless, slightly looming was the word of the day amongst fundy globe heads. So we ended up with a slightly looming hyena, right? So then we ended up with a guy in the chat who decided to call himself slightly looming hyena. But then that got elaborated on because slightly looming is an addition to what they call standard refraction, otherwise known as terrestrial refraction. So then you end up with, if it's slightly looming, which would be an extreme effect of refraction, then it's a slightly looming non-standard refraction of whatever it is you're looking at. In this case, a hyena. So you end up with a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena.
So there's a good background to it. Yeah, I thought, what is he talking about? Did I miss something, or I'm not familiar with the term? I didn't actually Googled it. I'm like, that nothing comes up.
Sure.
Good.
I mean, by comparison, Arwin's just put up another spin on the similar thing. So he's got a prismatic fractal looming chameleon.
Right.
Just bullshit animals. It's drawing a farce to, the fact that they're just employing word salad when they've got an effect that they don't or can't make sense of with geometry. Suddenly everything's slightly looming, or extreme looming, or non-standard refraction, whatever.
Or super mega looming.
Super mega looming. Infinite
Which
over
one
R
has
looming.
said?
Oh, that was so good.
Or we can back me up. Rumpus has said super mega looming.
Yeah. I
Rebel,
felt like
put
I was
yourself
in
on
a
mute,
Transformer movie.
It's great.
Rebel,
Right,
put yourself on mute when you're not talking, please. You're reverbing through. Thank you.
Right, I'm going to do a few shout outs. So I did actually shout these guys out in the pre-show, but I'll shout them out again because I've got quite a few new members, or 3. So Eric McNerney, thank you very much for joining as a hyena. Also, 2 shout outs to DJ Neo Shaman, who joined as a penguin and then joined again as a lion. So I think he upgraded his membership. But thank you very much indeed for joining as a member, DJ Neo Shaman. Also, Roscoe, Truth in Your Face. Check him out today. He's been on the panel a couple of times. He's also a videographer, so check out Truth in Your Face. He's a YouTuber. But thank you very much for joining, Roscoe. And also, from the show today, a few super chats. So, James Dean says, Dean Coots, The Eyes of Darkness. Thank you very much indeed, Jason Dean, for the super chat. Also, FE News says, Ranty is ace. He is. Ranty is ace. That's very true. And another super chat from FE News, but it's the last one on the list, so of course it goes beyond the list for some reason in YouTube, but I'll see if I can scroll down and find you. Give me a second. Hopefully this non-stop babble from me is enough time to buy. Here we go. Shout out to the Rumpus for debunking soundly. Right on. Thank you very much for all the super chats. FE News. I'm nearly there. Just one more. John M. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. He says, I need a link of real-time feed of one of the thousands of satellites at minimum of 1,000 miles from Earth showing stars and Earth 24/7. Thank you very much for the super chat, John M. Very interesting you should say that, on account of the fact that was kind of one of the things that flashed through my mind when I first heard Math Powerland utter the words flat Earth, was that I actually did exactly the same thing. I was looking for real-time weather, similar, to put on my desktop on the computer before the one I've got now. And that's what I want. Mark Sargent's got a similar story. When the iPhone came out, it had the blue marble on it, and he wanted to do that for a network he was putting together. And it wasn't a network, it was just my home computer, but I wanted that. I was like, yeah, man, surely we've got satellites, right? I'll be able to get real-time weather data just straight onto my desktop, just as an interesting folly. Was I wrong? So I did the same thing everyone else did. You search for the images of Earth from space, you end up with the exact same image, or duplicates of the same image, or slightly contrast-changed version of the same image. It's all the same image. Since then, there's been several that have come out since that particular time for me, so now you probably get a slightly more varied Google search than I did back then, but I was like, God, there's nothing out there. Now, it's another one of those things that you put on the back burner, you don't necessarily give it too much thought. I didn't immediately go, oh, obviously they're lying about the Earth being a sphere then. I didn't think of anything of the sort, but like I say, when Math Powerland was like, talking about flat Earth, basically, that was one of the things that flashed through my mind. I was like, oh my God, There aren't any pictures. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much indeed for the super chat. What was his name again? John M. Brings back memories. There's Sleeping Warrior. Who was asking after him earlier? He's in the chat right now. I was asking after him. Oh, right. Well, there he is. Good job. I pointed him out.
We got a baller in here. RB 1985.
Hey, RB. Share your pain.
RB 1985.
Maybe
Do
you
you have
could
anything to say? Over.
RB, can you share your horizon first?
We hear you. Good to have you. We're all in good moods. You're probably not going to get too much grief.
Sorry?
Good to have you, RB.
Thank you. Good. Nice show. Not really to say much.
Well, thanks for being here, man.
I think that's it.
Is he sitting on his mic? Or what?
I think that's it. I don't think he's got a great deal to offer. I think that's probably all we get out of him. Well, it was a pleasure. I can see why you wanted to join the debate. Maybe that's a question I can ask you, RB. Why did you join a flat Earth debate? Well, I was feeling a bit insecure about my religion, so I thought if I went and affirmed it by arguing with people who were obviously wrong, that I'd affirm my position in my sphere belief. So that's why I'm here. Oh, well, thank you very much, RB.
So true.
No, not at all. No, I wasn't prepared to actually join talking. Normally just listen. Chat.
No, I appreciate that. I'm just intrigued. Or why would you want to listen in an interactive manner where you could participate? Because obviously you could just watch the show on YouTube.
Mostly because English isn't my native language. And therefore I'm gonna struggle a lot.
That might be quite useful. When we are discussing the geometric horizon in the geometric Earth curve model that says we're on a physical sphere, does that all make sense?
No, I'm not a baller.
You're not a baller? Ah, this is a waste of time.
I know.
Good to have you anyway.
Hey, Nathan, in the absence of ballers, I want to read something here. You remember that the guy said the best you've done is disprove the radius of the Earth?
That old chestnut. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just typed in, what if the radius doubled? What if the Earth's diameter doubled? What would happen? In their construct, of course, not in reality. If the Earth's diameter were doubled to about 16,000 miles, the planet's mass would increase 8 times and the force of gravity on the planet would be twice as strong. If gravity were twice as strong, bodies possessing the same construction and mass as our flora and fauna would weigh twice as much and would collapse. It'd be timber for tall, thick trees such as redwoods. Large sunward-reaching plants might still develop, but would require stiffer architectures of cellulose fibers and other material altogether. Animals would have to be thicker-legged to support their weight. As for humans, our appearance would depend on the evolutionary demands placed on our biological forebears. In a higher gravity world, said Neil Cummins. So we would, as humans, double our weight Now that's if the Earth's radius just doubled. But based on the black swan picture, at 10 miles, the Earth's radius would go from 3,959 miles to 240,230 miles, slightly more than double. We would all be dead on their model.
Nothing can ever work on their model anyway. By the way, I made a little update of my prismatic fractal looming chameleon.
I can't read it. It's too small. You have to read it.
He says
This is not the horizon you are looking for.
I need to be holding up a paw or whatever they call it. Claw. Like doing a hand wave. This is not the horizon you are looking for. The horizon that is geometric cannot be seen.
Exactly.
Then you need, if it was a cartoon, in the next slide, you'd have that chameleon scratching the face of the person saying it. And like they're shaking them going, "What the hell were you saying boats went over?"
Well, or maybe he's gonna try to undo the human's perspective by trying to suck its eye out with its long tongue.
As I said in the pre-show, that trimmed out bit from Rumpus yesterday, he starts off by saying, "There's oodles of stuff being obscured by the horizon," and by the end, the horizon we see isn't geometric. It's just like the double speak is so thick at the moment. It's great.
Did you hear the hesitation in him responding to that though? That's what was the most precious about it.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
He kind of just, he just didn't want to answer. He actually just got quiet for like a few seconds. He just didn't say anything. The first time you asked him, he did say no, and then he started to backtrack and try to come up with some more bullshit. But then he did end up saying no again. So,
well, he wanted to say no. It's apparent. Inserting a redundant word so he can still flip between there being two horizons, and he did. So at the point that I've got the model on screen, he says, "Well, we've got a geometric horizon, and we've got," and I said, "No, you've just spent 5 minutes explaining how we haven't got a geometric horizon." What he means is, I'm going to decide that we've got one because the model's got one, and I'm going to base everything that the model says would be a consequence of this geometric horizon. It's our value it's based on. But in reality, I'm going to defend that it's not doing what it physically should do, and therefore say we never see it with a hand wave, even though we spent 4 years arguing about how physical it is and how much it blocks. It's a very awful position to be a Glober at the moment.
Defending the not actual is a tough job.
Well, he's defending it, like I say in that clip. He starts off by telling us just how much is being blocked by the horizon.
Hello, Nathan.
Hello.
We got a new contestant here.
Don't call them contestants, they'll get scared.
Oh, pardon me. We have a new guest, Nathan. Kaponak. Come in,
Hello,
Kaponak.
Nathan. Can you hear me?
Hey, Kapomak, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good to have you.
Yes, I'm not a globe believer. I know that we live on flat. Can I say something to your panel and to you?
By all means.
Sorry on my bad English. I'm from Croatia. I think there are 3 levels of flat Earth introduction. First level is Mark Sargent, and his level is you give people a model so they can how to say
Conceptualize.
if you yes if the first time you are introduced to flat Earth is you, Nathan, then this is I will say my experience. I first listen to your channel, and I hear moron, utter idiot, retard. I say, what the hell? Then the second was Mark Sargent, and I listened to Mark Sargent, Eric Dubay, and this kind of proofs. And when I realize I'm not living on, because I didn't want to see what my eyes saw, but my mind was so indoctrinated that it's very hard to get out of this this school indoctrination. So the second level is guys like Globusters, I don't know, David Weiss, Dave Murphy, Sleeping Warrior, Arvin, and the third level is demolition, and that's you, Nate. You demolish in the most how to say in the science way. You use real, exact science to that people can see that we are all being fools. Do we live on do we live on a flat plane? Do we live on a I don't know, some kind of realm? I don't know, but there is no way that we live on globe. So and just want to say that black swan image. I think there are two ways to see that picture. First is the way the QE presented, and you and your panel. But if your mind is in, if your mind knows that you live on a flat plane, then in my position, for me is white. But I know that majority of people do believe that we live on a globe. So black swan is really black swan. But I hope that this beautiful example will show people, and many examples like that. But black swan is beautiful because you really know where these oil rigs are. You know the distances, and QE really good, really presented this in a beautiful way. So I just want to say that you are really and your panel and people and really trying to do the best. And I personally just want to say that I know many people in Croatia and my friends who really enjoy your show, and they see with different eyes. So thank you for your
thank you for the
effort.
kind words.
And I just want to say QE once really he's really good in predictions. So when he predicts something, when time passes, we see that his prediction was good. I predict in 1 year that Brenda will be the best promoter of flat Earth when after you, Nathan, for some time, get out from Brenda this globe retard think that Brenda will be the best promoter of flat Earth in 1 year. That's
Yeah, I
it.
kind of know what you mean. Brenda's become a bit of a yardstick for sort of very average kind of globe head mentality. She's not the sharpest tool in the box. She's not stupid either. She's just kind of got standard rhetoric, fairly middle of the road. So she's a reasonably good yardstick to say, you know, where's Brenda's comprehension in this scheme of things? And that's a fairly good sort of, yeah, generally the globe heads will be that kind of standard. You know, we've got two horizons, a geometric one and an apparent one. That kind of standard is the general standard, and it's Brenda's standard. So she ends up being the yardstick, which maybe she likes. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know. I'm just going to read out a few super chats. So big shout out to John M again. He says, any link of sun visible 24/7 live from poles? Well, I've got one pole. So tracking the sun on Flat Earth Live, if you want to see it in what they call the Northern Hemisphere for 24/7. A dude kept on tuning in, showing us his sun constantly up above the horizon. As for the South Pole, unfortunately not from personal testimony of Robert Shortman. It's my most popular video if you want to check it out. I obviously haven't been to Antarctica, but he spent 18 months, 12 months consecutively in Antarctica, and there was no 24-hour sun according to his testimony, so check that out. That's Robert Shortman. The video is called Confessions of an Antarctic Plumber. Also, I think somebody was backing you up, my friend. Let's just have a look. There was another super chat. I vaguely read it as it went by. Just give me 1 second. I think it was from Retro Bill. There it is. Retro Bill, well said. I definitely understand his English better than I do most ballers. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's your second language. You disclaim that, but yeah, you got everything out, and it was concise enough. Perfect. Thank you very much, Retro Bill, for the super chat.
I think I want to give a shout out to Croatia. It's awesome that people in Croatia are listening to your show. Shout out to everybody listening. Why not? Earth is flat.
Yeah.
It's
Also, did
beautiful,
you
right?
say that Brenda's not stupid? Sorry.
Say again, Travis.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on chocolate there. But did I hear you say that Brenda's not stupid?
No, I don't. I think it's unreasonable to call her stupid. She's not. She says stupid things. Everybody says stupid things. Everybody makes mistakes. So if you tar her with the brush of one mistake she might have made, then yeah, you can call her stupid in that instance. But as a general standard, I wouldn't call Brenda stupid. She's not Dawn. Sorry if you're
I
listening
think
to this,
she's
Dawn.
generally a
Dawn.
habitual.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's other yardsticks out there.
Saying,
If you want to take a yardstick for the sort of who's the kind of the dumb level, the commenters that come in the chat, the comment section and say you didn't disprove anything, you're a moron. That's the Dawn level. He's our yardstick for the lower down the scale people. Sorry, there's no way of sugarcoating it, right? And then you've got the upper level, and I'm sure he'll love this. This will make him. Anyway, let's not do some graphic descriptions of what he'll be doing, but people like the rumpus. He's at the other end of the scale. Well, Brenda sits between Dawn and rumpus. Wouldn't you agree?
not entirely,
That's
but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, Don's an absolute moron. Yeah, I understand. Brenda can actually, form a sentence and everything, but I'm up to date with Live Debate, and I know for a fact that Brenda said probably over 1,000 idiotic things. So I'm going back and listening to it right now, and I'm just going to make a list, and then we'll just see.
Well, she's a pretty wild philosopher by her own words, so I'm not surprised. You know?
Okay, I mean, we can agree to disagree. That's just, I mean, everyone's got their own yardsticks. Mine, I mean, if we've got just those 3 yardsticks, so Rumpus, and then Brenda, and then Dawn, if I named some other prevalent characters, we'll use that as the classification system, just for a bit of fun towards the end of the show, why not, right? So if I said Soundly, where would he sit? You can only pick one. You can't say, oh, between one or the other. Just pick one on the scale.
I'm sorry. Can you restate that last part?
I'll give you the scale again. So the scale is, the top of the scale is your Rumpus, the bottom of the scale is your Dawn, your middle of the scale is your Brenda, and then you've got to sort of stick them in a grouping with one of those 3 people. So if I say Soundly, do you say he's at the Dawn end of the scale, at the Brenda end of the scale, or at the Rumpus end of the scale?
I would say that he is above Brenda and below Rumpus.
I just said you can't do that. You've got to put them with one.
I go for Brenda.
Okay.
Brenda. Okay, fair enough.
I think I'd probably put him with Rumpus.
You'd put him with Rumpus? I'd probably put Soundly up at the higher levels, personally. Good con.
I don't know. I've said I've caught him in situations where he just really didn't really know what to say, and so I don't know. He can formulate a sentence if he's well prepared, but yeah, he can get stuck very easily if it's a live situation. I've seen it. So he's not that smart. I think that also, what is smart, what is dumb? I think there's really a big difference within the baller range of that as to who is really educated and who is completely uneducated. And then on top of that education level, how delusional are they? Because the more educated, the more delusional they tend to become. And if they're not that educated, they're just dumb and gullible, rather. That's more like Don, because he knows he's not educated, but he still believes.
Okay.
Rumpus is absolutely educated, but he just keeps doubling down on, his mistakes, as it were.
Exactly.
And
Everyone's got different.
very deeply.
Exactly. Everyone's got different standards of qualification of where they've been stupid. There's plenty of examples. People throw them at me all the time for where I've shown how stupid I am. Nobody's infallible. However, just for fun, stick some other people in. It's only for fun. I'm just doing this for comic relief, really. But there we go. Not for psychological evaluation of these people. Anyway, moving on. Let's pick someone else. Unless someone else has got someone in mind, and we'll just categorise them. Who else we got?
How about RC Meisty?
Who's RC Meisty?
You don't remember RC Meisty, the fallacy guy?
Who?
Mr. Reverse Reification Fallacy guy.
Oh, him. Oh, Brenda level.
How about Kosho?
Yeah, that makes sense. Brenda level. Yeah.
Kosho, Brenda level.
Probably
Mark
the same for
Taylor.
Unorthodox, right?
Mark Taylor. Dawn level.
Absolutely.
What about Sean Hawkins, who's in the chat right now?
Dawn.
Dawn level.
Dawn.
Clearly. About George Netanyahu.
Rumpus.
Yeah, I'd put him at
Yeah.
the Rumpus level.
He's above Brenda.
Yes.
About Mr.
Oh, no,
Sensible.
man.
Well, it's also about how
open
bad does their mistakes get, And
Closed thermos being an open system, man. I don't know. That's a tough one for me, for George. That's got to be a point dropper right there. But proceed.
I wouldn't. I've
just
seen
double speak
George
like
around
that.
the circuit for a very, very long time. George isn't stupid by any stretch of the imagination.
yes, agreed.
Yeah,
How
not
about
stupid,
Louis Boy
but-
Hackett?
Oh, who's that? Say again, Travis.
Louis Boy Hackett, Lewis Hackett.
I don't really have that much interaction with him. The only examples I've had or interactions I've had with him is demonstrated to be very stupid, but I don't think he is. I'd probably put him at the Brenda level.
Yes, I agree. Because he is not stupid, but again, for all that lack of stupidity, the delusion becomes just as strong. And that's really what typically happens.
Okay, I got two. Zanuck and Wiggles.
Oh dear.
Oh, Wiggles, I don't know that well. Zanuck I'd put at the higher levels. Just do a quick shout out to Dave. Shout out to Rakia Life. Shout out to my favourite creator of content, Jesus Christ. Creation points towards creator, Rakia. Thank you very much for the super chat, Rakia Life.
Right.
Was there someone else that smashed the super chat that I missed? Maybe.
Nobody's better at creating content than the creator himself.
What, did you say you've got 2? Chocolate.
Oh, I said Xanic and Wiggles. Oh, I guess you could throw an Orthodox in there if you want.
Unorthodox is pretty thick. Unorthodox is at the Dawn level, but really wants to be at the Brenda level. A bit like Slice Barcane. Slice Barcane's at the Brenda level, but really, in his mind, thinks he's at the Rumpus level.
Well, maybe you
How
could
about
go
Cinder?
for a 5-step system. You say like Dawn and a half or Brenda and a half.
No half steps. You can't be half. No, just for the fun of the game, it's more interesting to just say, yeah, he's dumb. Yeah, he's smart. It's completely arbitrary. This is just for fun.
Wait a second. The smart ones are actually just really good bullshitters.
Yeah, good con artists. That's what I said about Soundly. Just a really good con artist. Others aren't so good at being con artists. Some just demonstrate their stupidity and shoot themselves in the face every time they open their mouth. So, you know, there's the 3 qualifications for stupidity. Who else we got? Who else is a prevalent baller? Wolfie. There you go. I don't have many interactions with Wolfie. It's a tough one. Getting harder, aren't they?
Well, I've just never heard him really argue too much, except for maybe in the beginning of the shows. So
About
I would
Bob
say
the
it's probably
fallacy
automatically
guy.
like Brendan.
Oh, that's a good one from the super chat.
Wolfie?
Bob the fallacy guy. That's a good one. Got the good. They're getting good now. They're getting harder. Where would we put Bob the fallacy guy?
Well, yeah, you'd say Brenda level, but really, so he's so much more delusional for the level of education he actually has. So I'd actually drop him down to the Sean level.
Yeah, I was thinking Sean level, hoping to be Brenda level. He's pretty dumb. But I'm going to say no. If we've got to categorise him, I wouldn't put him as that
Wait,
stupid.
did Sean replace Dawn?
Oh, sorry, not
The
Sean level, Dawn
now?
level.
Yes,
Or is that
yes, he
lower?
did.
Is that
Same
a
thing.
lower tier?
No,
He's
same
in
thing,
chat
same
right
thing.
now.
Right, got a couple of from the super chat. Got Tim Osmond. Where's Tim Osmond? Oh, we're going to put Bob the fallacy guy in at the Brenda level?
I
and ahhing
guess.
about putting him at the Dawn level. He's not that stupid, is he?
No, yeah. I guess Brenda will work. I guess.
What about
Guys,
Tim Osmond?
guys,
Tim Osmond?
I have a warning. If we keep this up for too long, we will start to sound like we are like a school gang or something.
That's all it is. That's exactly what this is. This is playground talk. There's no ballers here to argue with us. Fuck it, we'll just talk. Excuse my language. Don't kick me out. Oh, it's my show. Hooray! Right, Jose Gonzalez. I'm sorry about this Dawn level. Sorry.
Dawn Fetter. Dawn.
No,
What about Tim Osmond?
it has to be Sean level because Don has never done such amazing things.
I would actually put Tim Osmond at the higher level. This might shock people. Tim's smarter than he lets on. He's actually, yeah, he can get away with.
I'll concur with that.
Yeah, he's a lot smarter than he lets on. That's why he's successful at trolling. He's got low ambitions and high intelligence.
Yep.
Anybody else? This is fun. Playground stuff.
Professor Phil Bell, although you probably don't know him that much.
What I've seen from him is dumb as hell. Oh, got some great quotes from him. I screenshotted some great comments that he left for me.
Right.
He said in capital letters.
I put him on the
He said,
Brenda
get this
level,
right. He said in capital letters, a hypothesis is not a prediction. I kid you not. Dawn level. Definitely Dawn level.
What?
No.
Said-
He did that in
Brenda level.
capital
No, but,
letters.
no, but listen up. He is really Brenda level because he is kind of educated. He's just really doubling down for some reason. So deep. He's so zealous. he does know things. So I would put him on the Brenda level, but it does look kind of ridiculous at times. But yeah, so does Brenda, as we all know.
I'll take your word for it. I don't have enough interactions to know. What about conspiracy cats? I'd put him squarely on the Brenda level. Not thick.
Yeah, because I think he knows, not divining his thoughts, but he's smarter than he lets on.
Oh yeah, he's in a lot of cognitive pain. Check out Haunted House's interview with him. It's very telling. Airplane pilot, says Redman116. Airplane pilot? What, is that somebody I don't know? Is that a YouTuber? Anybody know what that's referencing?
Is that nose down while pitching up guy?
Oh, I can't remember.
that airline pilot that came on that time.
Oh, he's not a prevalent YouTuber though.
Yeah.
We're not going to rate people like Blind Sniper because people wouldn't know who they are. You'd say Dawn. People have seen him on the circuit, heard his voice, know who he is. So,
I got another one.
Go on.
How about Akumu virus?
Again, there's no point. It's just, no one's going to heard of him. Do Jose. What level? We
Yeah,
already
heard
did
him.
Jose. Sorry, just
he-
shout out. Hold on, let me just shout out the super chatter. Mario knows it's flat. We already did Jose. He's at Dawn level.
Mhm. Yeah.
What about Red Rhetoric?
But Akumi virus has been on the show a couple of times.
Yeah,
Remember?
but he's not got a channel. You wouldn't. Although Dawn hasn't got a channel, he's on the circuit enough to know exactly who he is if you've been here for more than a few months. Whereas you're not going to know who Come Virus is.
Okay.
Red Rhetoric.
Ooh. I'd put her on Brenda level. Yeah, him.
Yeah, I agree. Any more? Got a couple more from Retro Bill, and then we're going to round out the live show. Any more for any more?
You got another super chat.
How about Gem Panda?
Gem Panda.
Brenda level.
Yeah, just box standard Brenda level. Laurie says,
Oh, really? Give him Rumpus.
you would give him Rumpus?
No, I said, oh, really? You would not give him Rumpus?
No, definitely
came in
not.
Here and argued with you for months.
Mate, if you want to make a case for him being at Rumpus level, I'm quite shocked if you couldn't tell from my tone, but go ahead.
No, I was just surprised to hear that. I mean, I don't know much of Gem Panda. I don't really listen to him, but he was in here and argued in the beginning with you for quite a while. Seemed to be able to hold his own decently until the tidal wave of truth and understanding and realization came through and whisked them all away.
Right. So he's not that capable compared to, for example, Rumpus, that is still ongoing despite all that.
Exactly.
Well, Rumpus is the Energizer Bunny.
Right, great show. Keep up the good content.
The upper echelons of this ranking system was literally on here yesterday conceding the geometric horizon.
Let's just do one last
wealth for them.
Just do one last one before I round out the live show. So Professor Dave, also that flat fellow, says, great show, keep up the great content. This has been total trash, the flat fellow, but thank you anyway. Nothing wrong with trash once in a while. We don't often do it. Just the last one from Retro Bill. So Professor Dave. Anybody have any extensive? I have no idea what he's like.
No. I have no idea.
The level of intellectual dishonesty alone, claiming he's a professor, that should put him at the Brenda level, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I don't have enough interactions with him. From what we've seen, he's just utilised all the box
I
standard
wouldn't
arguments.
I wouldn't say Dawn level. I would say more Brenda level, but
Important things, very important things that we're discussing here. So with that, I'm going to say, if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where I bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Again, a massive thank you to today's Discord and G Plus panels for making this live show possible. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley Premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!